Figuring out when you are done with decluttering can be a little tricky. There's really no hard and fast rule to tell you when you are done. And to make it even more complicated, everyone's answer is a little bit different because the only person that can know if you are truly done decluttering is you. So in this video today, we are talking about how to figure out your enough. What is enough for you so that you can truly know when you are done with decluttering and ready to move on to the next step. If you're new around here, I'm Kassy, and I make videos about how to streamline your home so you can add at least 7 hours back to your week. If that sounds like something you would be into, subscribe down below and ring the bell next to it so you can be notified when the next video comes out. All right, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you want to do to make sure that you can figure out what your enough is to go back and remember what your why was. Why did you decide to declutter? What were your hopes for when this project was done? Did you have a certain aesthetic that you were going for, or did you just want to have more peace and more calm in your house? If you have never done this exercise of figuring out why you want to declutter, I do have a Streamline Your Home quick start guide, and there is a full worksheet in there for figuring out your why, and I have a lot of questions in there that really help you go deeper with this question to figure out what is really going to motivate you to keep going when times get tough. These questions, though, will also be very helpful when you are trying to figure out when you are done with one project and should be moving on to the next. So I will put a link to the quick start guide in the description down below if you want to check that out. The second thing you want to do to be sure you are decluttering all the way down to your enough is focus on only one area at a time. If you are partly decluttering a lot of different areas, it's going to be really hard to know when you're actually done because you're going to be spread thin, you're going to be distracted when you're working in one area, you're going to be thinking about what you should be doing in another area, and it's overall just much easier to completely finish one project, one area of decluttering before moving on to the next. And even if this doesn't seem like it would be helping you find your enough, it actually is. Because if you follow a logical plan for decluttering and you start with the areas that have the least emotional attachment, you will be able to more quickly and more easily declutter those areas and give yourself that practice of decluttering and also see when that area is done more readily than if you are starting with maybe the bathrooms and then going into the kids' rooms and then going back to your room and then going back to the bathrooms and then working on the kitchen for a little bit. It's going to be really hard to just complete any area if you're jumping around. So pick one area that will be easy for you to declutter and declutter it completely before you move on. So I kind of alluded to this in the last step, but the third thing that you want to do is you want to just start with the bathrooms. They are by far the easiest thing to declutter, especially if you want to declutter something completely, because they're pretty small and they don't have a lot of emotional items in them. They also have a tendency, though, for things to just kind of pile up and get stored, especially beneath the sinks in the bathrooms. So that means there is stuff that needs to be decluttered, but the stuff in there you often, or at least most people, don't have an emotional attachment to. So it is a good way to kind of get your feet wet with decluttering, and it enables you right off the bat to get in the habit of getting that clutter out and also making those decisions without the emotion. It's also really easy to see in a bathroom if something is needed or decide if it is loved. So again, because of that, you will have a really good idea when you are done with decluttering the bathroom what is enough for that bathroom. Again, giving you practice in seeing the process and then seeing it finished and then knowing what that's supposed to look like. So when you go to get started with the bathroom, you are going to have an extra box. And this is in addition to the other 3 boxes I recommend you have when you start decluttering. One for keeping, one for donating, and one for trash. This 4th box, you're going to write maybe or I don't know on. And then you are also going to write on this box a date 3 to 6 months in the future. Don't worry about writing what is inside the box on the outside. That actually would make this not as helpful. So don't label what is inside the box. Just put the date and maybe, or I don't know, or whatever else you want to do. As you are going through decluttering your bathroom, anything that you just aren't sure about, put into this box. Now, the next step that you're going to do is you're going to actually declutter the bathroom. So everything in that bathroom should end up in one of those 4 boxes. And what I want you to do here is I want you to declutter a little bit past where you're comfortable with. So if there are some things that are on the line, make sure all of those are going in that maybe box. So don't put them in the keep box. Only things that you absolutely love and know that you use all the time go into that keep box. Anything that's on the line that you're not sure about goes into the maybe box. And again, go a little bit more decluttered than you think you might need, because often people hold back a little bit when they're decluttering. They keep their just in case items, and that really keeps them from finding what their enough is. If you go further than the enough, then it will actually help you get to right where your enough should be. And I'll show you how in the next step. Don't worry. You aren't going to just toss everything in this maybe box. So then you're going to put the donate stuff into your vehicle exactly as you normally do at this step. You're going to toss the trash items. You're going to put all of the keep items back. And your bathroom should look pretty different at this point, right? Because we just decluttered it. So when you look in the cabinets, when you look under the sink, it should look very neat and tidy. And it might even make you smile a little bit when you go into the bathroom, just because it looks so much better and is so much easier to clean. Now, with that maybe box, you want to seal it up and put it somewhere out of sight, maybe in the garage or maybe in the attic. Anytime during the next 3 to 6 months, whatever you decide on, that you miss something and you had put it in that box, go and get it. Now, an important thing here to remember is anytime that you get into the box, you pull something out and put it back into your bathroom because you are going to use it, you need to seal that box back up. Put some tape over the top so you're not just having it open and rifling through it here and there. It has to be a conscious decision to get back into the box. Then what you will want to do is once you reach that date that you had decided on, either 3 to 6 months down the road, somewhere in there, when that date comes, take the box, still sealed, don't look in it, and everything that is still in it, put into the car, inside the box still, take it to Goodwill and donate it. Everything in that box should be donatable since you were thinking about keeping it. It should be in good condition still, so donating it should be just fine. But you don't want to look in the box before you donate it, or you'll start to decide, oh, I did need this, I did need that. But in reality, you actually didn't. You didn't see it. When it was out of sight, it was out of mind, and you didn't miss it enough to go and get it. Now, one other thing you may actually want to put on that box is which room it was from, so that you aren't having to go through all of your maybe boxes every time you need to find something. You can put bathrooms on the first one. The next one, put the office or put the guest room or put whatever rooms you are deciding to do. I also found this to be a really helpful method with helping my kids find their enough, because if they can just see everything all the time, of course they're going to say, I need to keep it all. But we helped them talk through, listen, we want to really be able to play with the toys that we have, and when our room is a mess, it's not as much fun to play with it. So any toys that you want to for sure get rid of, to give to other kids, we put in this box. Any toys that you aren't sure you still kind of like, but you're not really playing with them too much, we're going to put in here and we're going to see if we miss them. And then all the other toys we keep in our room. And they knew, I told them, anytime you want to, between now and whenever it was, if you decide that you missed something, let me know and I will go get it from the box for you. So that is a little bit less scary of a way to declutter with kids too, because they know if they miss something, they can get it back out. Then you just simply repeat this process with every other room in your home. Like I said though, do label the box with which area so you aren't trying to look through 7 different boxes anytime you need to find something. So what I've personally found, if you use this method to help find your enough, is when you declutter a little bit below what you might have thought your enough is, it is very easy to go and grab whatever things that you may have put away that you actually didn't need to and build it back up to your enough. But when you stop decluttering before you reach that enough, you're generally done decluttering. And you still have all of those extra things that you have to clean up after, things that you have to put away, things that are still cluttering up your house. And you won't actually come around to decluttering down to that enough again unless, a year, 2, 3 goes by. And since you hadn't actually reached that enough, you hadn't finished the task, you hadn't set those boundaries, you now have a whole bunch of extra clutter in the house. And you try to get down to that enough again, but you still don't quite get there. And then a year or 2 or 3 goes by, you build up your clutter again, you have to go back down. So you may not have the massive amount of clutter coming down every time, but you're going to be on kind of this decluttering roller coaster, whereas decluttering down past that enough point and then adding back anything you need to that enough just becomes a much cleaner process and makes it so you only have to declutter once. If you are ready to dive in with both feet and completely streamline your home, my brand new membership is now open for enrollment. It is called Total Home Transformation, and I'm so excited about it. It is going to help you streamline your home as quickly as possible, help you get to that finish line in record time so you can start enjoying those 7 extra hours a week. If you think you would like to join the program though, be sure to do it soon because I am only accepting new members into this first cohort until Sunday, May 19th at midnight. At that point, the doors will be closed to the course and enrollment won't be open again for at least 2 months. I'm not exactly positive when I will open it back up. It will depend a little bit on how all of the current members are doing and where they are at with streamlining their homes. I want to try to get everyone past streamlining the first and second pillar before I open the membership back up again. So if this is something you think would be helpful for you in your streamlining journey, be sure to check it out. I would love to see you on the weekly coaching calls and help you as you streamline your home. Plus, once the doors close on Sunday, the price will never be this low again. All right, guys, that's all I had for this video. Leave me a comment down below if you can think of other ways for finding your enough or if other methods have worked for you. I hope to see you inside the program, but if not, I will see you on the next video.